Most productivity advice is backwards. You've tried everything. The 5 a.m. wake-ups that left you exhausted. The complicated systems that took more time to maintain than the work itself. The motivational content that felt good for 10 minutes then faded. Here's what nobody tells you. Productivity isn't about working harder or having more discipline. It's about working with your natural patterns instead of against them. In the next 9 minutes, you'll discover 10 unconventional techniques that the most productive people use but rarely talk about. No motivational fluff, no complex systems. Just simple switches that double your output while cutting your effort in half. These aren't theories. These are tested methods used by people who consistently outperform everyone around them while working fewer hours. Ready to become dangerously productive? Let's start with the 20-second secret that transforms how you work. Chapter 1. The 20-second reset. Your productivity isn't broken. You're just using the wrong rhythm. Here's something nobody talks about. Every 20 seconds, your attention naturally refreshes. Think of it like breathing, except instead of air, you're cycling focus. When you work in 20-second sprints instead of forcing hour-long marathons, your entire approach shifts. Watch what happens. Work intensely for 20 seconds, then micro-pause for 2. It sounds ridiculous until you try it. That report you've been avoiding? 20 seconds of typing, quick reset, 20 more seconds. Before you know it, you've written 3 pages without feeling drained. We've all experienced this accidentally. You're struggling with something complex, then suddenly everything clicks. That's not luck. That's you accidentally hitting your natural refresh cycle. The difference is now you can trigger it intentionally. Let me be real with you. Everyone thinks they need to grind for hours straight. But that's like trying to sprint a marathon. Your best work happens in bursts, not in exhausting slogs. Here's how to use this. Set a silent 20-second timer on repeat. Work intensely during each interval, then consciously relax for just a moment. You'll accomplish more in 2 hours than most people do in 8, simply by working with your natural rhythm instead of against it. Chapter 2. The temperature advantage. You know what's hilarious? We'll spend $300 on productivity apps, but ignore the free hack sitting on our thermostat. Drop your room temperature to 68 degrees Fahrenheit and watch your productivity jump 23%. This isn't about comfort. It's about performance. When you're slightly cool, you stay alert instead of getting drowsy. Think about it. When do you feel sharpest? Never when you're cozy and warm. Here's where it gets interesting. A 2-minute cold shower in the morning gives you 5 hours of elevated focus. Not because of some motivational nonsense, but because cold exposure floods your system with focus-enhancing chemicals that last all morning. We're all sitting in our comfortable 75-degree offices, wondering why we can't concentrate. Meanwhile, every high performer you admire keeps their workspace cool enough to need a light jacket. The implementation is stupidly simple. Drop your workspace temperature 5 degrees. Take 1 cold shower. Add a small fan for air circulation. That's it. You've just unlocked 23% more productivity without downloading a single app. Watch your output explode while everyone else is still searching for the perfect productivity system. Temperature is the most overlooked productivity lever, yet it affects everything you do all day long. Chapter 3. The coffee timing secret. Stop. Don't drink that coffee yet. I know. Sounds like blasphemy. But here's what's actually happening. When you wake up, you're naturally alert for the first 90 minutes. Adding coffee on top is like flooring the gas pedal when you're already at highway speed. You'll crash by noon, guaranteed. Wait 90 minutes after waking before your first cup. By then, your natural morning energy has settled, and coffee actually has something to lift. The result? Energy until 5 p.m. instead of crashing at lunch. Think about your typical day. Coffee at 7 a.m. Exhausted by noon. More coffee, crash at 3 p.m. More coffee, can't sleep. Wake up tired, repeat. You're not actually tired. You're riding a caffeine roller coaster that's destroying your natural energy patterns. Here's what nobody mentions. Delaying coffee actually makes it work better. You'll need 40% less for the same effect. It's like getting a raise just by waiting an hour and a half. The protocol is simple. Wake up, wait 90 minutes, then have your first cup. Second cup before 2 p.m., never later. You'll feel more alert on less caffeine while actually sleeping better. Most people never discover this because they're too impatient to try it for even 3 days. Chapter 4. The 4-thing rule. Your mind can only juggle 4 things at once. Not 7, not 10, 4. This explains why you're struggling. Because we're all trying to track 47 things simultaneously. It's like trying to juggle while riding a unicycle. Unnecessarily complicated and destined to fail. And here's the hack. Group everything into chunks of 4. Instead of 12 separate tasks, you have 3 groups. Suddenly, your day becomes manageable. It's the difference between drowning and swimming. You know that feeling when you walk into a room and forget why? That's mental overflow. Your mind literally dumped information to make room. Now, imagine that happening every 5 minutes at work. No wonder nothing gets done. The solution is embarrassingly simple. Write everything down. Not because you're forgetful, because you're human. Free up mental space for actual thinking, instead of trying to remember everything. Here's the advanced move. Use visual organization. Mind maps, sticky notes, visual boards. Your eyes can track way more than your memory. One glance at a visual system beats trying to mentally juggle all day. Your productivity will double overnight. Chapter 5. The if-then magic. If-then planning doubles your success rate. Literally doubles it. Here's why it works. You're not relying on motivation or willpower anymore. If it's 2 p.m., then I start my important project. Your mind treats this like an appointment, not a decision. Research shows 91% of people who use if-then planning stick to their goals. Compare that to the 8% who rely on feeling motivated. We're all waiting to feel ready while successful people just program their day. Think about your current approach. You wake up and figure it out as you go. That's 50 decisions before lunch. No wonder you're mentally drained by noon. If I open my laptop, then I check my priorities first. If someone interrupts, then I say, give me 10 minutes to wrap this up. If it's 4 p.m., then I handle all emails at once. You're not being rigid. You're being strategic. The beauty is how simple this is. Pick 3 if-then rules for tomorrow. Watch how much easier your day flows when you're not constantly deciding what to do next. You've literally programmed your day like a GPS route. Just follow the directions you already set. Join our YouTube membership for exclusive perks like early access to scripts, input on future topics about productivity, and connect with a like-minded community that gets it. Click join below and let's build your easier, more intentional life together. Chapter 6. The flow formula. Flow isn't mysterious. It's a recipe. Clear goal plus immediate feedback plus right difficulty equals flow. That's it. We're all waiting for inspiration while flow state has an actual formula. Here's what's funny. We accidentally hit flow playing video games for hours, but can't find it at work. Why? Games have perfect flow triggers built in, levels, points, progress bars. Your work doesn't. Make your work like a game. Set mini goals every 20 minutes. Create a visible scoreboard. Give yourself points for completions. Match the difficulty to your skill. Too easy and you're bored. Too hard and you're stressed. You know that feeling when hours disappear and work feels effortless? That's not random. That's you hitting the perfect balance. Performance jumps 500% in this state. Not through effort, but through alignment. Here's the trigger sequence. Remove distractions. Set a clear target. Create a feedback system. Adjust difficulty. Within 15 minutes, you'll hit flow. It's not luck. It's following a proven formula. You can trigger this every single day. Chapter 7. The task-switching tax. Every time you switch tasks, you lose 23 minutes. Not 23 seconds. 23 minutes. Your mind doesn't actually switch. It drags baggage from the last task, contaminating your focus on the new one. Think about your last hour. Email, Slack, document, email, meeting prep, Slack again. You didn't work for an hour. You spent an hour switching between tasks, never fully engaging with any of them. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Multitasking is a myth. You're not multitasking. You're rapidly failing at multiple things in sequence. The solution: batch everything. All emails in one block, all messages in another, all creative work in protected time. It feels weird at first because we're addicted to the false busyness of switching. But 2 hours of focused work accomplishes more than 8 hours of task switching. Here's the professional protocol. Use transition rituals. Close everything. Take 5 deep breaths. Announce your next focus out loud. This clears mental residue. Elite performers use this between every major task. The difference in output is immediate and dramatic. Chapter 8. The visibility effect. Want to instantly double your output? Work where people can see you. I know it sounds weird, but being observed increases productivity by 20%. Your mind automatically works harder when someone might be watching, even if they're not paying attention. Here's where it gets interesting. Virtual co-working is just as effective. A silent Zoom room with strangers makes you more productive than working alone. We're social creatures pretending we're lone wolves. You know what's hilarious? We'll procrastinate for hours at home, then finish everything in 30 minutes at Starbucks. That's not the coffee. That's social pressure. Your mind doesn't want to look lazy in public. Body doubling, accountability partners, public commitments, they all work because they hack your social wiring. Stop trying to be disciplined. Just be visible. The research is undeniable. Even a photo of eyes on your wall increases productivity. Your subconscious can't tell the difference between real and implied observation. Schedule important work during video calls, even if they're muted. Work in public spaces. Share your goals online. Your mind will force you to perform because reputation has always equaled survival. Chapter 9. The 2-minute momentum. Productivity isn't about doing big things. It's about never stopping. If something takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. No exceptions. This isn't about the task. It's about momentum. Watch what happens. Reply to that text. File that document. Send that email. Suddenly, you're in motion. Objects in motion stay in motion. You're not procrastinating. You're just at rest. Here's the breakthrough. Combine this with 20-second bursts. Most 2-minute tasks actually take 20 to 40 seconds. You're riding natural momentum while building unstoppable velocity. The compound effect is insane. 32-minute tasks per day equals an hour of completed work that usually gets postponed forever. You're not working harder. You're eliminating friction. Here's the secret. Your mind can't tell the difference between big and small wins. The satisfaction is nearly identical. Stack small wins to create the feeling of success. Before you know it, you're tackling big projects with the same ease. Momentum is everything. Chapter 10. Your personal system. Here's the ultimate productivity secret. Stop copying others and build your own system. Track everything for 1 week. When you focus best, when you crash, what helps, what hurts. You're not lazy. You're using someone else's playbook. Everyone's selling their perfect routine. 5 a.m. wake-ups, cold plunges, meditation. Meanwhile, you might work best at 10 p.m. after a hot shower listening to heavy metal. There's no universal system, only your system. The real hack isn't finding the perfect method. It's building your own from what actually works. Test, measure, adjust, repeat. You're running experiments to crack your own code. Think about it. You've watched 100 productivity videos, read 20 books, tried 50 apps, but you've never spent a week studying yourself. That starts today. Keep a simple log: energy levels, focus quality, what you accomplished. Rate everything 1 to 10. Within a week, you'll see exactly when and how you work best. Then build your schedule around that data, not someone else's morning routine. You now have 10 techniques that most people will never discover. The 20-second reset, temperature optimization, strategic caffeine timing, the 4-thing rule, if-then planning, flow triggers, batch processing, social pressure, 2-minute momentum, your personal system. Here's what makes you dangerous. While everyone else is trying to force themselves to be productive, you're using natural patterns and psychological triggers. They're swimming upstream. You're riding the current. Start with just 3 techniques. Test them tomorrow. See the immediate difference. Then add another. Within 30 days, you'll be operating at a level that seems impossible to others. Remember this, productivity isn't about discipline or motivation. It's about designing a system that makes high performance inevitable. You've just learned how to build that system. Welcome to the ranks of the dangerously productive. Now go show the world what you're capable of. And hey, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Also, let me know your thoughts on what I just shared. Oh, and there's more. I've just started a Patreon to help support these videos and connect with you more directly. Check out the link in the description if you'd like to join.